passion.
In this video, we're going to show you what is inside this particular device. Now, this is the E-Light Q-switch laser RF and what do you call it? And also skin rejuvenation E-Light device. Now, we've got inside this device, we've got 3 dedicated capacitors. We're going to list everything, but we're going to show them to you in a second. 3 dedicated large capacitors for the E-Light, both the rejuvenation, both the, if I remember well, the rejuvenation and the hair removal, if I remember well. Because one is the rejuvenation, the other one is the hair removal. I can't remember exactly which one is which right now. And the overall power is 2 kilowatts. Then we've got a dedicated capacitor for the Q-switch laser. We've got, in this version, we're going to show you the 300 watt unit, but we can actually have an option to 500 watt Q-switch laser, which is not in here, but the capacitor is larger, the power supply is larger, and so on. But we're going to show you that in a second. If you watch the CO2 laser part of this the series, then we've got a circuit breaker as well at the entrance of the power supply. A water pump, which is used not only for the light sources, the 3 light sources, 1, 2, 3, but also for the cooling system. The heat dissipator for the cooling system. Then the water tank, because we need water inside the system for the cooling system and the light sources. An internal power supply to the PCBs, a dedicated power supply to the E-Light, which is quite large. We're talking about 2000 watts. A dedicated E-Light printed circuit board, an E-Light, 2 E-Light contactors, because as you, I mean, if you're familiar with the design of devices, then you know that contactors are required for the functioning of this unit. And then as you operate it, then you hear the clicking of the contactors when you press ready for these 2 particular heads. Then we've got an RF PCB, a dedicated RF PCB. The RF head is this one. And lastly, the Q-switch laser PCB and the overall PCB controlling unit, which we're going to show you right now. Now, if we can actually go into this unit here. So, in here we've got the small capacitor is a 300 watt capacitor, which is controlled by this PCB, and this is for the Q-switch laser, unit. Then we have the 3 big capacitors here are quite large because they are 2000 watts in power for these two heads here. The one is for hair removal and for skin rejuvenation. This is the dedicated power supply to these 2 E-Lights. As you can see, it's quite large, and there's a fan in there for ventilation. This one, if you can see from there, actually, if we can actually go around, it's much easier. This one is the dedicated PCB for DRF, the radio frequency skin rejuvenation, which is this head here, which is cooled as well. So both these 3 heads, 1, 2, and 3 are cooled. These are the 2 contactors for the two heads. So with these 2 contactors, you can actually start operating when they're closed. Say for example, we close this one, then you operate this one. When you close this one, you operate that one. And this is automatic. Let's have a look. And this one is the main controlling PCB. That's the main, that controls it all, and is powered by this small power supply in here. This is small power supply which actually powers up all the small PCBs, the low voltage PCBs, and safely it also powers up this fan here. These two fans are the fans that cool down, that actually heat dissipators for the refrigeration of this unit. So this heat here, because we're talking about, as you remember, this 1, 2, and 3 heads. 1, 2, 3 heads have got the cold function. So if you leave them to operate for a while, then they become frosty because of the cold function. And this one is the part that requires to dissipate the heat of the unit. That's the water tank, which is quite standard, and see whether we can actually watch it from here. Now we've got one tube that goes in there. If you watch the video where we're changing the water, this is the overflow, and then we've got this one, which is the inlet, and this one is the what do you call it? The outlet for the refrigeration unit. That's the outlet for the refrigeration unit. This one, if you see it, this one over here, this one. Beautiful. It's the inlet, and it goes down there, and it goes in and so on. And that is the water pump in there. So let's have a look if we actually seen the circuit breaker is in there. That's the circuit breaker which we talked about before. Now, if we actually have a good look at the units, so that's the overall unit inside, as you can see. And if you want to know more about this particular unit, you can actually check out all the videos, all the information that we've got online, and don't hesitate to give us a call, contact us through WhatsApp, and we thank you very much for watching this video. Sì, that's